You were not hired for your brains, you hippopotamic landmass.
Robert Miguel Mornings on Uvalde Radio.
Inconceivable!
UvaldeRadio.net, good morning and welcome again. I'm Robert Miguel here, and we are celebrating National School Choice Week now through the 27th. If you don't know what School Choice Week is, School Choice basically means giving parents access to the best K through 12 education options for their children. These options include traditional public schools, public charter schools, magnet schools, private schools, online academies, and homeschooling. And of course, Uvalde here, we have a fantastic public school system and several great private school options, as well as, homeschooling is pretty popular as well, too. So this week, we're going to focus on all the options that Uvalde has to offer. And with me on the phone, head of school from St. Philip's Episcopal School, Dr. Becky Reinhardt. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Robert, for having me on with you.
This is exciting. Now, this is the first time we'll talk here on UvaldeRadio.net. I guess either you're pretty new to the school or you're pretty new to the role, because I believe last year we spoke to Joy. Was she in your position?
Yes, sir, she was. And yes, I have recently joined St. Philip's. I retired from the district. I am a longtime district employee in Uvalde school system. I retired this fall, and I have just come into the role as head of school since we've come back since the Christmas break. And so I am very new into this role.
Wow, you are brand spanking new. That's fantastic.
Yes, sir, I am. And so just talking, just a little bit about being here, since, being in a private school setting is very different from being in the public school setting. We do focus on education, but we do focus on some other aspects as well.
Now, you must, working that long in the public school forum, and specifically in UCISD, that has to be useful because, when parents come to you and they're looking for a private school option, perhaps maybe because they're either disenfranchised, disappointed, or just not comfortable in the public setting, that'll give you you have some good, valuable insight to that, I suppose, right?
Yes, sir, I do. I worked in Uvalde CISD for 28 years.
Wow.
I came here as a third grade teacher. I actually taught at Robb Elementary for 10 years. I taught fifth grade and went into administration. I've been at the high school. I was principal at Benson Elementary when Benson was still a school. And then I actually got to go back to Robb as principal for a few years. And then I was back at the high school in district level before I left. Last year, I was actually the principal of our virtual academy that we had with the school district. And so I was able to reach out to a lot of those families that, because of our tragedy that we had at Robb, I was able to work with a lot of those families to help keep them in our district and give them an alternative to public education at the time. And so I feel like that background is going to help me a lot with, helping those needs for our families who just may not be comfortable in going back to the public school. And so many of those families know me, and like I said, I've been in Uvalde for over 28 years, and some of the kiddos that we have here at St. Philip's, I remember their parents from, at least one campus or another from my years with the district.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you, and not just for educating our children and showing up to work, but after the tragedy and being so close to the heart of it, just the fact that you're still in it, that you're still showing up to work and you still have this, this yearning, this desire to educate and in some ways heal our children and our community. Thank you so much, because I know just in my experience, a lot of instructors, a lot of teachers just kind of bowed out. Did they not?
Yes, for one reason or another, a lot of things personally, it hit different people in different ways. But I know for myself, I just recently received my doctorate in 2019, and my focus in my doctorate was how administrators address the social and emotional needs of their students. And so that is something that is very close to my heart. And I feel like God called me at this time to come and still be that for a lot of folks in our community as well as, in our school systems.
Again, we've got Dr. Becky Reinhardt, head of school at St. Philip's Episcopal School on the phone right now. So we're celebrating National School Choice Week. Now, Dr. Reinhardt, you mentioned a little bit about your education. Let's go ahead and rewind to the very beginning. What inspired you to get into education, and go ahead and give us a snapshot of your resume, your educational background?
I guess, originally I hadn't, I'm not one of those people that went all through school saying, oh, I'm going to be, a teacher.
Uh-huh.
I kind of had some other plans. I was planning on actually being a lawyer when I was in college. Wow. But I met my husband and married, and then we had 3 children right away. And, once you have children, your priorities in life change.
Absolutely.
And so at that time, I thought, okay, I need to have a career my kiddos. So I decided to go into teaching. I was the oldest of 5 children in my family, so I felt like I had a pretty good background with being able to reach out to children and work with children. I babysat a lot, so I knew I loved children. Just wasn't what I had planned on doing. And so my kids, I have 3 boys. They're all 3 in their upper 30s now, but I have one son that's in the Border Patrol, lives in Del Rio. I have one that lives in Austin, and then my 3rd son is in Albuquerque. So, they're kind of all scattered all over the place. But in becoming a teacher, when I decided I wanted to become a teacher, my husband and I moved here, like I said, almost 30 years ago, and my children were in elementary school. They, went to school wherever I was teaching. They went through our school system, and they also graduated from Uvalde High School and went on, to be productive in society. And that's what I want for our kiddos here.
Fantastic. Well, we're so fortunate that you came to Uvalde. Tell me, as far as being a Uvaldean, somebody that's been here for decades now, what's kept you in Uvalde? I know a lot of people kind of come and go. That's kind of one of the things about Uvalde. But what has kept you here and obviously happy and willing to serve?
Well, my husband was in the Border Patrol. He's retired now, and his stations were here in this area. But our kiddos, we grew up in West Texas, my husband and I did, and Uvalde was very similar to the town that we grew up with the same values and same, things that we expected in our school. We were small enough that we knew our kiddos wouldn't get lost in the system, and they would have lots of opportunities to do things here in the community. And so that's just what we wanted for our kids. And now that they live in different places, we have this, we've been here for, a while, and we enjoy being here and being part of our community. And so, we're still here.
Well, now, before we get into the nuts and bolts of what's happening at St. Philip's Episcopal School, one last personal question. Again, as far as being a Uvaldean, what are some of your favorite things about Uvalde? Where do you like to eat, shop? What do you do in your off time, your personal time in Uvalde here within the county?
Don't really have a lot of personal time. I have 5 grandchildren, another one on the way, and so I do spend a lot of time with my children and with my grandchildren. But we just like the location. I can remember always going to the river with the kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy the rivers that are around. My husband likes to fish, so there's plenty of opportunities to be fishing. There's just a lot of things here in Uvalde. And like I said, Uvalde is a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody looks out for everybody. And that's what we want. I'll also mention we do have quite a few wonderful Mexican food restaurants here that my husband and I still like to frequent and go to whenever, we go out to eat.
Oh, feel free to name drop. Go ahead, name drop. We like it when people do that.
Well, one of our favorites is the Jalisco's over there across from the library.
That's right.
One of our favorites that we like to go to. And we've just always enjoyed, being out and being in the community.
Fantastic. Again, we're talking to Dr. Becky Reinhardt. She's the new head of school at St. Philip's Episcopal School at 343 North Getty Street. It is National School Choice Week, so we're kind of showcasing what's going on with the private schools in Uvalde. Now, Dr. Becky, you're real new in this role, so if you don't have an answer for every single question I throw at you, I'm totally going to give you a pass, okay? But let's go ahead and dig into St. Philip's. Raising happy kids since 1961. That's your motto there. Go ahead and give me a background on what you know about St. Philip's Episcopal School as far as the history of the school in Uvalde.
And so, like you said, St. Philip's has been in existence since 1961. We had a group of parents that just really wanted to, provide that type of environment for their students to attend an Episcopal school, and so they created that school. Many of our students their parents have attended St. Philip's. Some of our families have been, their grandparents attended St. Philip's. We have a lot of them that, talk about that. we have been looking in my learning more about St. Philip's. I've been going through information, and I've been going through some of the yearbooks, and I'm like, oh, I know those kids. I know those kids because we also, once they leave St. Philip's, many of them come through our public school system, especially in the secondary level, at high school, that kind of thing. And so just getting to know that about St. Philip's is really good.
Now, when we say Episcopal school, obviously we think about an Episcopal church. For those who, maybe are Catholic or Baptist, what exactly does that mean, or how would you describe that?
Okay, so basically our school does operate, it is an independent school, private school, but we do operate under the Diocese of West Texas, and that is from the Episcopalian faith. And so one of the many things about Episcopal identity is that, we are very much about diversity in our school. So we do have opportunity for, you don't have to be an Episcopalian to come to St. Philip's, but we do want to provide, that diversity in our school. We also want to, provide some faith-based instruction in our school. I know we have chapel twice a week, and in chapel we're learning the liturgy that we use in Episcopal churches. And so, we do focus on that. And so just understanding that that spiritual, intellectual, and social emotional development of all of our students, that's really our main focus.
Fantastic.
We want to focus on that whole child, both academically, social emotionally, as well as spiritually.
Now, you mentioned attending chapel, in class. Go and give us like a day in the life, a snapshot of what a day at St. Philip's would look like for the students.
Well, our kiddos, we come to school at 8 o'clock. That's what time school starts, and we get out at 3:30. But while our kids are here, they will participate in, traditional academics. And then they also have some special classes that they go to. We have Spanish every day. We're learning conversational Spanish, lots of vocabulary, and we're sharing that vocabulary. They also try to, continue that in the classrooms as well so that we can develop that vocabulary in our students. And then they also attend PE every day. Depending on the age of the child, they will either go 30 minutes or 45 minutes to PE. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have chapel from 8 to 8:30. We have quite a few parents, even grandparents, that join us in chapel with their students.
Oh, nice.
Like this, we on Thursdays, if we have any birthdays during the week, we'll also celebrate birthdays of folks in our school during chapel time. On Tuesdays, they go to Godly Play, where they learn Bible stories, or, they learn about different aspects of the church, why we have an altar, why do we, perform church the way we perform church, those kind of things. And so they are learning, getting that spiritual learning.
Now, some parents might be interested in class size, like how big is your average class and what's the ratio, instructor to student?
So our ratios are very small. We do have a maximum number in our classes, which is typically at about 15 for our older students. We do have 2 and 3K classes here. Currently, our 3K is our largest class. We have 20 students in our 3K class, but we do have, 3 adults that work with that large number of students. But typically our classes run anywhere from about, I think our smallest class is 8, and our largest class is about 13.
Wow, that's some personal instruction right there. That's good. Now,
yes.
If I'm not mistaken, do you guys go up to 4?
Yes, sir. We go up to 4th grade.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to put a plug in right now.
Okay.
We are looking at the possibility of going back up to 5th and 6th grade.
Okay.
I remember when my children were younger, they did have 5th and 6th grade here at St. Philip's. But we think, if we do have an interest, that we would like to expand and add those upper grades in the next few years. So if any of your listeners out there are thinking, we might want our students going there in the 5th or 6th grade, if they would just call and let us know.
Now, here's an opportunity for you to kind of brag on the campus. You mentioned that you'd been in the public district for many, many years, so you know exactly what they're made of. Without, dissing anybody, take a moment to brag on what you guys do. What sets you guys aside? What are the benefits of your kid going to St. Philip's as opposed to whether it's public schools or another school in Uvalde? And again, I'm not looking for you to like mudsling. I'm just saying, tell me what you're proud of over there.
Well, one of the things we're proud of course, is that spiritual education that we get to provide. I know one of the first things that I said was, making that transition from public school where you're not supposed to talk about God. I get to bring God into what we do here, and we get to focus on that. One of our things that we talk about is, how we want to be more like God. Our students actually say a children's creed every morning. In that children's creed, it talks about we want to be more like thee. We want to be kind and loving, more like our Lord. And so getting to actually talk about that and instill that in our students will carry that on into life. And so also here at St. Philip's, we get to focus more on, different aspects of academics as well, without that pressure of having to take that dreaded STAR test that we, focus a lot on. We have other measures that we use to make sure that our students are on track with what they need to be learning at each grade level.
I like that dreaded STAR test. Boy,
yes,
I tell you
what.
It's looming, this dark thing.
I'm trying to be really nice.
No, fantastic.
There's lots of other ways to know if your kids are on track.
Absolutely. Again, Dr. Becky Reinhardt on the phone right now from St. Philip's Episcopal School. They're at 343 North Getty Street. Their phone number is 830-278-1350. Now, Dr. Becky, as far as admission, application, what is the whole process of, figuring out if your kid is the right fit for St. Philip's and then applying and getting in?
Okay, so actually, we do have open enrollment year-round. We currently have space in many of our grade levels. Our 3K, as I mentioned, is very large, but our other grade levels could take, a couple of more kids at this time. But for our 24-25 school year, we are actually going to start registration the week of February the 5th. We have open registration. Of course, any of our present students have first choice, but if any families are interested, what we do is they will call up here and let us know. We schedule an appointment for them. They come in and we provide an application for them, talk about the application process. We will give them a tour of the campus. We've even been able to go into some, let them see classrooms, and, kind of get an idea of what happens here on the school. And so there is a registration fee that when they turn in their registration. And then we do have tuition. Our tuition has not changed. Over several years, we are still at the same tuition, which is very much similar to the tuition of our other private schools here in town.
Okay.
We do have a scholarship process, and so we have a third-party place that you go online, enter your information, and they will let us know of the amount that a student may qualify for a scholarship if that is applicable, to help out with the tuition.
Fantastic. Wow, that's good stuff. Again, call them at 830-278-1350 if you're interested, and schedule that consultation, that appointment, I guess. So, Dr. Becky, one final question. Do you guys at St. Philip's have any upcoming events, fundraisers, community events, anything like that you want to plug, mention, that are happening soon?
Well, currently we are in the Kids Hearts Challenge, which formerly it was, when I was younger, we thought of it as Jump Rope for Heart.
Yeah.
But we are currently doing the Kids Hearts Challenge, and I just found out this morning that we have reached our goal of $4,000, and so we are looking forward to getting more. It does not end until February the 13th, and so I think our school is going to do a great job with that. And other than that, if anyone has any other questions about the school, we would just encourage them to give us a call.
Well, thank you so much for all this valuable information, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you and, what's going on at St. Philip's Episcopal School. The website, I haven't mentioned this yet, is spesuvalde.org. Again, that's spesuvalde.org. And again, they're over at 343 North Getty Street. Anything we haven't talked about, any parting thoughts, Dr. Becky Reinhardt?
No, not that I could think of. Just that if, you are looking for something different in the community, just know that St. Philip's is here, and we would really like to discuss the possibility of your child attending.
Well, fantastic. Again, Dr. Becky Reinhardt, head of school at St. Philip's Episcopal School, as we delve into National School Choice Week here on UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.